And we're back with some more FHM 9, and in this one we're not going to be doing a standard GM mode. Thought I would change it up a bit. We're going to be doing a historical challenge instead. We're going to try to get this done in one video, so each video is going to be a separate challenge. And this one I think we're going to do the Nashville Predators. Nashville's slow but steady post-expansion progress paid off in the mid-2000s with back-to-back 100-plus point seasons, but neither produced playoff success. To beat the challenge, take the 2005-06 Predators and win at least one playoff series no later than the 2007-08 season. Now, I think just being that seems kind of, I mean, we'll see what the roster is like, but I think what I want to do is I want to raise the bar a little bit, and I'm going to say let's win the Stanley Cup. Let's try winning the Stanley Cup by the 2007-08 season. I mean, once again, we'll see how the roster is made up here, but I'm feeling pretty confident, so let's do that. All right, so here we are, July 1st of 2005. Let's take a look at what we're working with here. Trade deadline is on March 9th, and the salary cap is $39 million, and the salary floor is $13 million. All right, very different numbers from what we're used to. Let's take a look at what we're working with now. In goal, you have Tomas Vokoun, 28 years of age, 4-star ability. And then you have the 29-year-old Chris Mason, 3-star ability. And of course, there hasn't been any simulating yet, so we won't know how any of these guys will perform really in the simulation until we start. Then on defense, you have the 22-year-old Dan Hamhuis, Shea Weber, the 19-year-old Shea Weber, I might add. Some great physical ratings, defensive ratings, good personality. I mean, yeah, so far so good. Kimmo Timonen at 30 years of age, 3-star ability, pretty well rounded it looks like. Then you have Marek Zidlitsky, 28 years of age, 2.5-star ability, offensive defenseman. Adjusts well to a new environment, difficulty performing well under pressure. Okay, so that's something to consider. Might want to trade Zidlitsky. Yeah, might want to trade him because that's not a recipe for success in the playoffs there. Then you have Ryan Suter, the 20-year-old Ryan Suter, 2.5-star ability, 4-star potential. Defensive defenseman. Then you have Mark Eaton, 1.5-star ability, big game performer. So even if for that reason alone, he might be worth holding on to as a depth defenseman. Fairly clean, stays out of trouble off the ice. Sounds good to me. And then you have Daniil Markov, 1.5-star ability, high IQ, doesn't let criticism get it down, knows what he's worth, expect to be paid that amount. Besides Zidlitsky, I think the guys on this defensive core are probably going to be sticking around as long as they simulate well. Zidlitsky, like I said, may want to trade. And then at forward, you have Paul Kariya, the 30-year-old Paul Kariya. Very good offensively, very good physically, and with mental ratings as well. Adaptable to a new environment, big game performer, and very sportsmanlike. Definitely got to keep him around. Then you have David Legwand, the 24-year-old David Legwand. Looks pretty well-rounded. Then you have Martin Erat, 23 years of age, 2.5-star winger. Adjust to new surroundings quickly, difficulty performing in big game situations. So Erat and Zidlitsky so far have got sort of the same unfortunate bane there, and he tends to stay out of trouble off the ice. So that one little quirk there that he has is I'm not a fan of. So Erat and Zidlitsky so far are on the trade block, I think, for me. Scott Hartnell, 23 years of age, 2.5-star ability, pretty good offensively and mentally. Then you have Yannick Perreault, 21 for faceoffs, interesting, so it goes above the maximum there. 34 years of age, 2.5-star ability center. Sounds like a good veteran to keep around. Then you have Steve Sullivan, 30 years of age, 2.5-star ability. Scott Walker, 31 years of age, 2.5-star winger. It's fairly well-rounded. As for his personality, he has got a chippy side to his game. Keep expectations low when Walker's under pressure. Okay, so that's a red flag. And he tends to stay out of trouble off the ice. So Zidlitsky, Erat, and Walker. Not a fan of keeping them around. Scotty Upshall, 21 years of age, 2.5-star ability, can show a bit of a mean streak, tends to move around a bit more than average, and has serious difficulty performing in big game situations. Okay, so yeah, there's another one for the trade block there in Upshall. I mean, I know he's young, but I'm not a fan of that trait. Not a fan of that. Then you have Adam Hall, 24 years of age, 2-star center, very good defensively, looks like a penalty killer. Then you have Jared Smithson, good defensively, okay physically, doesn't look like he's going to be doing much offensively. Then you have Vernon Fiddler, good defensively, has a 1.5-star ability, 25 years of age. Then you have Scott Nickel, good defensively, 30 years of age, and a 1.5-star ability. Personality, comfortable in a new environment, shows a bit of a mean streak, stays out of trouble off the ice. Jordan Tutu at 22 years of age, and his number is 55 for some reason, so I'm gonna have to change that. Gotta be 22. And then finally you have Darcy Hordichuk, 1-star ability, good hitter, good with bravery and determination. Looks like a enforcer that, yeah, 20 enforcer rating. And then 19 fighting. Yes, this is your enforcer here. All right, so I know for a fact I want to trade these 4. Again, I know Ira and Upshall are young, but I'm just not a fan of that trait in this game, because that means they disappeared in the playoffs, and we only have 3 years here, so it's not a favorable player to keep around in this scenario. So it's not like holding on to any young players would do us all that much good for the future, right? We may as well just get any player who fits the bill of what we're looking for. Of course, I'll do my best to keep the team relatively young for them to have success in the future, but right now what we're concerned about is the next 3 years specifically. So what exactly do we need here? Well, the thing is, we don't know much about our current roster and how they simulate. So I don't know if I want to make any moves now. I think I'd rather wait until, I would say, the end of October. You know, we just get a month of simulating in, see how everybody does, including the guys on the trade block. I'm not going to trade them right away. And then once we have at least a decent idea of how guys on this roster are going to simulate, then we'll make decisions on roster moves from there. Like, I don't want to be taking too many wild guesses with this GM mode, because we only have a very limited time. So just going to take our time with each trade, with each roster decision, really, and try to make this team the best we can in the next 3 years. Anyway, we do have Barry Trotz as our head coach. I mean, we got to keep him to start out, right? There's no sense in firing a coach when we don't even know how the team's going to simulate yet. All right, now let's take a look at our prospects list. You got Mike Santorelli as our best star potential prospect, 3-star potential. You also have Patrick Hornqvist at 2.5-star potential, Alexander Radulov, Cody Franzen, Yana Niskala, Hal O'Reilly. All right, so no one too impressive right off the bat. Obviously, you got some names that we recognize here, Hornqvist, Radulov, but they're nowhere near NHL ready for now, so we're gonna have to leave them in the system. And now, before we start simulating, let's actually just go check free agency quickly, see if there's anything we could get to really improve our team. Wow, we don't even know the ratings of these guys. So actually, that reminds me, let's go ahead and hire a scouting team. All right, so now that we have our scouts signed, and I didn't really want anything out of free agency, so I think we can go ahead and start season number 1 with your Nashville Predators. All right, I just got to say something about the trade proposals from the AI of players that are on the trade block. This is the offer that I'm getting for Martin Erat, who pretty solid player in his own right. The only downside to him is the difficulty performing in big game situations, but still getting a 1-star defenseman back, not what you like to see. Then you got Steve McLaren, a half-star. What is this? What kind of offer is that from Marek Shidlitsky? Ouch. I mean, again, I'm in no rush to trade these guys, so that's a bit underwhelming there. So I think we're going to ignore any trade proposals for right now and just get to the start of the regular season. Oh man, I forgot how lightning quick these historical save files go. Oh, right, of course, there was actually a couple players in the minors that we forgot to go over. Pekka Rinne, of course, so how could I forget? 2.5-star ability, 5-star potential. Looks very good all around. Good personality, so I guess we will call him up. Although we already have Mason and Vokoun, so one of them is gonna have to go. And then you also have Kevin Klein on the back end. He is a 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential, pretty good defensively and with the physical ratings. So not going to call him up right now, but definitely someone good for the future, maybe in the next year or two. Now, as for the goalie situation with Vokoun, Mason, and Rinne, the computer benched Mason. I'm assuming that's what they're going to do during the regular season as well. So might have Mason on the trade block, see what I could get from. And actually, this is a move we have to make right now and not wait a little bit into this season because we're at 24 players on the roster. So let's take a look around the league and see what teams need a goaltender. I may as well include some late round draft picks because I doubt those are going to be any use to us in this GM mode. Okay, so let's take a 5th. Mason, Niskala, and a 5th for Eric Brewer, 26 years of age. Just got to make sure his personality is okay. Stays out of trouble off the ice. He isn't dumb, but a little slow to catch on at times. Overall, not bad. Now, what about Jackman? Because I really like Jackman's defensive and physical categories. No, okay, it's going to take a little bit more to get Jackman. Yeah, I kind of expected that. What about a 4th? Okay, they will take a 4th. Mason, Niskala, and a 4th for Barrett Jackman. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Offer trade. All right, there it is. St. Louis has accepted our offer of Chris Mason, a 4th, and the rights to Niskala in exchange for Barrett Jackman. Complete trade. There it is. Quite a big addition already to your Nashville Predators. And obviously during the preseason, he had a 99 defensive grade. That's what I really liked about him. How's Jadlitsky doing so far? 70 defensive grade, 61 offensive, 7 points. I mean, I won't deny that point scoring is valuable on the back end, but we already got that in Timonen and Weber. And I want someone who's going to be able to, you know, perform well during the playoffs. Is there anyone who's like really tanking right now? Atlanta, maybe? Maybe if I could get someone like Kozlov. Yeah, 'cause he performs better under pressure. Kozlov might be worth getting here. Solid physically, solid offensively, 9 points, 77 grade. Yeah, his defensive grade's at 85 as a forward. I might want to trade for Kozlov actually. And they're looking for defense too. So this might actually be a perfect fit here. Very likely they'll accept. So I could actually get more out of this. I mean, an 86 defensive grade for Jim Slater, 22-year-old center. 5 points so far on the season for Atlanta. Solid defensive ratings, solid physically. That's not bad. I think we'll get Slater on here. Oh, really? That pushes it all the way up to, I don't think they'll accept this. Is it because of his age? Probably. Now, what if I threw on a draft pick? I don't think they would, yeah. They wouldn't even give me their second. They'll give me their third, though. But honestly, I don't think it's worth that at that point. All right, I don't think Franzen's going to be part of the roster at any point in this GM mode, so I'm going to send him to Atlanta in exchange to get Slater on there. So Zhidlitsky and Franzen for Kozlov and Slater. That's honestly pretty solid. Remember, as good as Zhidlitsky is offensively, I really do not like that part of his personality there. And the fact that Kozlov performs better under pressure, you know that's going to be big in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm doing this. Zhidlitsky and Franzen for Kozlov and Slater offer trade. We'll see if it goes through. And then of course that means that we're going to have 2 extra forwards. So we're going to have to make a trade to get guys like Upshaw, Erat, and Walker out of here. And then get a defenseman to replace Zhidlitsky. Ooh, Rafalski's really tempting. Rafalski is really tempting on the Devils. Great offensive category. Defensive categories, it's acceptable. Physical ratings are great. Mental ratings good. Scouting page isn't known to be particularly dirty. Accepts new surroundings without any problems. Tend to stay out of trouble. And so far this season, 10 points in 11 games played and a 70 grade. Also got an 85 defensive grade. So yeah, I think I want to try trading for Rafalski here. And New Jersey is looking like they're not in the greatest state right now. 4-6-1. So this trade might make sense for them. What about how they're looking at forward? Oh yeah, this trade will make sense for them for sure. Yeah, they're missing a lot at forward there. This trade makes a lot of sense. All right, here's what I'll do. We'll go Upshaw in a third for Rafalski and Madden. Both proven winners. So yeah, I'm doing this. Upshaw in a third for Rafalski and Madden. Offer trade. All right, there it is. Both trades are accepted from New Jersey and Atlanta. So to Atlanta will be Marek Zhidlitsky and the rights to Cody Franzen in exchange for Vyacheslav Kozlov and Jim Slater. Complete trade. And then you have to New Jersey, Scotty Upshaw and a third for Brian Rafalski and John Madden. Complete trade. So we now have 2 excess players on our roster. We do have a couple of 1-star players on here. So we're going to send down Scott Nickel and either Tutu or Hordichuk. Guess it doesn't really matter who we send down here. I guess it'll be Hordichuk. We have had quite the active month so far in acquiring not only Barrett Jackman from St. Louis, but Kozlov and Slater from Atlanta, and then Rafalski and Madden from New Jersey. This team is already looking pretty solid. Of course, we still have Erat and Walker on the trade block. However, Erat and Walker are actually doing pretty well point-wise right now. As long as we're simulating like this, they can stay for the time being. Because at the moment, we are second in our division, 9-3-0, only behind Detroit. And the league, we are 7th in the league. So at the moment, not much to worry about. I think we can continue on with the simulation and see how this new roster does. All right, so December 1st, we are 19-3. I don't think we had a single loss in that month. Oh, my mistake. We did actually have a loss there against San Jose before the trades actually went through. But after we made those trades with New Jersey and Atlanta, we have not lost a single game so far since then, even with the injuries that we have. So it's looking pretty good so far. But Yannick Perreault leads the team with 27 points. What in the world? And then team stats, we are second in goals for per game with a 4.09, and goals against per game, we are third with a 2.32. Faceoffs were third with a 52.5. I mean, it's looking like a very good team we've got so far. Power play is first with a 25.2, and penalty kill is 8th with an 84.7. Nothing to complain about. Let's just keep going. I will say one thing I'm noticing is that so far, at least, players are being claimed a lot more often off of waivers in these historical GM modes compared to regular save file. And everyone pulling their weight defensively, offensively, just a complete team game that we have going on here. Rene with a 919 save percentage, a 907 for Vokun. Yeah, I think we can just go straight to the playoffs here. Oh, we got a click going into the playoffs. Are you kidding? What's going on here, guys? What's going on? So Korea and Suter, that's definitely not 2 guys who I wanted to see beefing there. So we're just gonna have to hope that they can get past it, whatever it is. And that is the end of the season. We are on April 19th, 2006. We finished 59, 20, and 3. I would say that is likely the best record in Predators franchise history so far. Yes, indeed. By a long shot, in fact. 121 points. Let's see where everyone finished. Korea with 93 points, 62 goals during this regular season. Kozlov with 75 points, 66 for us. Erat with 66 points. Didn't end up trading him. I'm going to see what he does during the playoffs. Rafalski with 64, 51 for us. Perot with 63. Legwan with 59, 53 for Timonen. Hall with 48. Walker with 40. Another guy who I didn't trade. Slater with 36, 30 points for us. Hartnell with 35, 32 for Suter, 27 for Weber, and a plus 42, plus 41 for Jackman, 21 points. Fiddler with 18, Smithson with 16, 2-2 with 15, Eaton with 5, 2 for Stillman, and 1 for Klein in 6 games. And a goal, 907 save percentage for Vokun, and a 921 for Rene. Overall, looking pretty good. We are unfortunately missing Sullivan, Madden, and possibly Hamhuis going into the playoffs. But Hamhuis and Madden should be back soon. We have the 39, 36, and 7 San Jose Sharks finished with 85 points on the season. All right, so how we're going to do this, since I want to get through the entire challenge in this video, we're just going to fly through every non-elimination game, including game number 1 against the San Jose Sharks. Some game we have a 3-0 Nashville victory. Shots at 31-21 in favor of Nashville. 3 stars of the game, 2-2. Hall and Suter. Game number 2, we have a 3-2 Nashville victory. Shots at 33-24 in favor of Nashville. 3 stars of the game, Walker, Marleau, and Jackman. Game number 3 is a 2-1 San Jose victory. Shots at 32-27 in favor of Nashville. 3 stars of the game, Langfeld, Rafalski, and Stewart. All right, game number 4. We're up 2-1. Can we make it 3-1? Yes, we do. The 4-3 Nashville victory. Shots are 56-38. 3 stars of the game, Walker, McLaren, and Slater. So just like that, we're up 3-1 in the series, going into an elimination game 5. Here we go. And there's one for your Nashville Predators. Vyacheslav Kozlov from Walker and Perot makes it 1-0. There's 2-0 Scott Hartnell from 2-2 and Hall. There's 3-0 Timonen from Perot and Walker. Makes it 3-0 before the end of the first. And there's another one, 4-0 Erat with his second of the playoffs from Suter and Hamhuis. Yeah, the second period now is a goal by Korea from Jackman and Walker. There's 6-0 Smithson from Walker and Rafalski. And nothing happened in the third, and that is all she wrote for this series. We were moving on to round number 2. So we have technically completed the challenge already. But, of course, that is not what we're shooting for here. We're going for the Stanley Cup. But we have technically already completed the challenge. Shots with 35-11 in favor of your Nashville Predators. 3 stars of the game, Walker with 4 assists, Perot, and Timonen. Yep, there it is. Historical challenge successful. We technically did it by the game standards, but we're going to try to go further. Yep, there we go. There's the achievement for it. Wait, did that say third round? Was I just seeing things? Yeah, the achievement on Steam says make the 3rd round of the playoffs by the end of the 2002-2003 season with Nashville. Wait, what? There are several things wrong with that. We did not make the 3rd round, and we are well beyond the 2002-2003 season. And in the 2nd round of the playoffs, we have the Colorado Avalanche, who are 41, 35, and 6. Here we go. Game number 1 will be a 4-2 Colorado victory. Shots are 35-28 in favor of your Nashville Predators. 3 stars of the game, Blake, Timonen, and Turgeon. Game number 2 against Colorado will be a 3-2 Nashville victory. Shots are 35-31 in favor of Nashville. 3 stars of the game, Madden, Brunette, and Weber. Game number 3, can we make it 2-1 series? Yes, we do. 5-1 victory against Colorado. Shots are 32-22 in favor of Nashville. 3 stars of the game, Madden, Suter, and Korea. Here we go. Game number 4, up 2-1 in the series. And it is a 2-2 series tie. Colorado with a 4-2 victory, even though we get 45 shots on net to 22, but they made their shots count. 3 stars of the game, Turgeon, Rafalski, and Eberscher with the 956 save percentage. All right, pivotal game number 5. Here we go. We have a 2-1 Colorado victory. That's crushing. Shots are 28-24 in favor of Colorado. 3 stars of the game, Brisebois, Kozlov, and Sakic. All right, elimination game 6, backs against the wall. Come on, Nashville, get it done. Oh, there's one for them. Hayduk with a goal from Turgeon and Svatos. 1-0. All right, and in the second period now. Oh, that's another goal. Ian Laperriere. Oh, man, Laperriere with another one. Oh, Pierre Turgeon with the 4th. Yeah, man, Joe Sakic, make it stop. It's not even the 3rd period yet. We're already at 6. Rob Blake. Oh, man. Yeah, that's unfortunate. At least in the first round, we went further than Nashville has ever done, but not a good showing here in round number 2. Kimmo teaming in with the goal from Adam Hall, but it is not happening in the slightest. Shots are 29-27 in favor of Colorado. 3 stars of the game, Blake, Turgeon, and Tanguay. Yeah, so I mean, we technically completed the challenge, but like I said, I want to try to win the Stanley Cup by the allotted time frame, which was the end of the 2007-2008 season. So we're going to do just that. We're going to go into next season and see if we can make an improvement to the team. But before we go into next season, let's check out the playoff stats. So in 11 games played, Walker actually with 10 points, Kozlov with 8 points, then you have Perreault and Correa with 7, and in 11 games played for Vokoun, he had a .911 save percentage. So I mean, we got some decent production from most guys, but unfortunately we just couldn't get it done when it counted against Colorado. So with that being said, let's get to the offseason of year number 1. And the Ottawa Senators are the 2005-2006 Stanley Cup champions, going through Pittsburgh, New York, Florida, and Detroit. We do have quite a few players to re-sign here. Vokoun, Correa, Madden, Hamhuis, Timonen, Rafalski, Rene, Jackman, Hartnell. Jeez, this is like everybody. Ooh, unfortunately Correa does not want to re-sign. You're gonna have to release into free agency for the time being. Madden too. Oh man. Same for Vokoun. This is great. It's fantastic. Hamhuis. Okay, he can stay. Timonen does not want to renew his contract. All right, good. Rafalski wants to resign. Perreault does not want to resign either. All things considered, Scott Walker was pretty good this year, so I'll resign him. Despite being on the trade block, I guess I should take him off. All right, so here are the players leaving for free agency. I definitely want to get most of them back if I can. Time for the awards. You have Yager for the Ted Lindsay, Heatley for the Art Ross and Maurice Richard, Brian Giunta for the Lady Bing, Joe Sakic for the Bill Masterton, Chris Pronger for the Mark Messier Leadership Award, and J.S. Giguere for the Jennings Trophy. For the heart between Heatley, Ovechkin, and Yager, you have Yager with 120 points. For the playoff MVP, you have Heatley, 37 points in 19 games played. My goodness. The Calder between boys, Ovechkin and Crosby, it is Ovechkin with 107 points. For the Norris between Lidstrom, Niedermeyer, and Redden, Wade Redden of Ottawa. For the Selke between McDonald, Madano, and Draper, it's Draper. For the Vezina between DiPietro, Brodeur, and J.S. Giguere, it is J.S. Giguere. GM of the Year between Burke, Muckler, and Holland is Burke of Anaheim. And for the Jack Adams between Andy Murray, Pat Quinn, and Mike Babcock, it is Andy Murray of LA. Wait, what? How is Rene down to a 1-star ability now? He had 921 save percentage in the regular season. I mean, I know he only played 20 games, but I can't see him going down to a 1-star ability just like that. That is certainly very odd. So I think for that reason alone, I'm going to go back after Vokoun. Oh, so we have the draft lottery, and it consists of 5 teams. Columbus, Atlanta, Phoenix, LA, and Minnesota. All right, I guess we'll see what happens here. So Minnesota's at number 5, LA, Phoenix, Columbus, Atlanta. All right, time for the draft. We have Jordan Stahl as the gem of this draft. It'd be great to get our hands on him, but I highly doubt it. There's also Phil Kessel, Nicholas Backstrom, Brian Little, Milan Lucic. So let's see what happens here in the first round. And we are picking at number 29. So do I take a guy like Zuccarello for the potential, even though we're not going to be seeing him in this for sure? Yeah, I think Zuccarello's got to be the pick here. Welcome to Nashville, Matt Zuccarello. Pick number 59. We still have Neuwirth on the board. Galbraith's still there. And a bunch of goaltenders. Neuwirth, Lack, Koskinen, Hutton, Scrivens, Johnson, Enroth as well. Kuhlman has a 3-star potential. Oh, I don't like Allen's personality. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Never any drama surrounding him, and luckily, but rarely reacts well when things don't go his way. That's a no-go. Bruner's the same. I guess I'll just go Kuhlman here. I'll just draft for potential, because there's nothing else that's really standing out to me as far as being NHL ready right now. Galbraith is the same way as some of these other guys with his personality, so staying away from him as well. What is it with this personality archetype? I've seen this exact same personality archetype on, I'm going to say 20 different players already in this draft. Like this exact personality. Yeah, see? Again with Kutuzov. And then Ryasensky as well. Genoway, Biryukov, Dan Sexton as well. Like it's basically almost, I'm going to say 75% of the players I've scrolled through so far in this draft have that exact personality. I don't know if that's something that is automatically programmed into these historical GM modes for players to have this exact personality, but I'm seeing it very often. Like, I don't know if there's just a lot of players back in the day who had that exact personality, but I wouldn't think so. Andreas Nodal, Savinainen. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a solid 75 to 80% of the players here who have that exact personality, and I hate it. I really do not like that personality. I'm just gonna have the CPU finish the draft here. That's especially for the GMO that we're only gonna be doing for 3 years, you know. Oh man, Korea and Perot are playing hardball here. This is the second time I've had to renegotiate with both of them. Timonen. Negotiations are not going over too well right now. Oh man, Vokun signs with Colorado, so it looks like we're gonna have to rely on Rene. All right, we got Perot back, we got Madden back, we got Korea back. Good. At least we got most of them back. Really hope that that 1-star ability on Rene is not the case once we start the regular season. I swear he was at a 2.5-star ability last season, and all of a sudden he just goes down to a 1-star. We had 921. I find that hard to believe. Right, we got Sullivan coming back soon as well, so we can add him to the roster. So what are we looking like right now? We definitely need another goaltender regardless. Defense is Hamhuis, Timonen, Weber, Rafalski, Jackman, Suter, Eaton, Klein. On paper, it's not bad. Then at 40, you have Madden, Hall, Legwand, Hartnell, Smithson, Sullivan, Kozlov, Korea, Slater, Perot, Erat, Walker, Fiddler, Tutu, and Stillman. Stillman's only half-star ability. May as well send him down for now. Make the roster 23. I would like to get some more depth at forward if possible. We're working with 6.2 here. Nolan does not handle big game pressure well. Not a fan of that. Probably ask for a little bit more in contract negotiations as well. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Never any drop. Like, we're seeing it in free agents too. Again with this one. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Again? Oh my goodness. Notarost, same. Paleo, the same. Taglio, we don't have anything on him. Erickson, literally the same personality for all these guys. Sturbach, the same personality. Peltonen, the same personality. I mean, this is getting out of hand here. None of his teammates have anything good to say about Davidson. How bad of a person do you have to be? Oof, that's rough. But like all those guys in a row, basically, from Purala up until Davidson or Peltonen had the exact same personality. All right, since there's nothing I'm interested in free agency, since it has a bunch of players that have not ideal personalities, I guess we're just gonna have to possibly make a trade here. I mean, we have plenty of prospects who have good potential. Radulov's up to a 4.5-star now. We could just get 1-star forward. I think that would make things a lot better here. I mean, obviously that's asking for a lot, but still, I want to try. I wonder what it would cost to trade for Hossa. All right, yeah, this is not happening. I just tried offering the rights to Hornqvist, Radulov, and a first for Hossa, and they're still not even close to accepting this. Okay, so if I had Weber, they would accept it, but no, we're not doing that. Not doing that. Erat, Madden, Hornqvist, Radulov, and a first for Hossa doesn't do it. So I'm gonna say no to that. Literally, the only thing that would do it, I think, would be Weber, and that is absolutely not happening. So I think we're just gonna have to make do for right now until an opportunity for a trade presents itself, because I don't think there's much else that I'm all too interested in. And if we look at the trade block here, I highly doubt there's gonna be anything here. I mean, we have a couple of 2.5-star players, but a goaltender. Not a fan of trading for goaltenders unless it's an emergency, to be honest. Yeah, there's not much for us here, it doesn't look like. Yeah, I think we just gotta advance here. Gotta advance to the start of the regular season of year number 2. Oh, right, we have Brian Finley in the minors, who we can call up for a backup goaltender. I'm still really curious how Pekka Rinne went from 2.5-star ability to 1-star. And another player who unfortunately dropped this year was Korea. He's down to a 2.5-star ability now. So hopefully his offense doesn't take too much of it. I mean, he got 62 goals, so I can't imagine that he drops off too much from that. But I guess we'll have to see. It's certainly going to be an interesting season coming up here.